The roar of the crowd outside the Dolby Theater hit Alina like a tidal wave as she stepped onto the red carpet, her designer gown shimmering under the relentless flash of cameras. But inside, her heart pounded not from excitement, but from the secret she was about to unleash. A truth that could end everything she'd built. In that moment, with the world watching, Alina grabbed the microphone during her acceptance speech and declared, "I've hidden who I am for too long. I'm in love with a woman, and her name is Elise." The auditorium fell into a stunned silence, broken only by scattered gasps and a few hesitant claps. Alina's manager, Mark, bolted from his seat in the back, his face draining of color as he realized the carefully crafted image of America's sweetheart was crumbling live on air. Backstage, as security ushered her away from the swarm of reporters, Alina's phone buzzed incessantly, texts from her publicist screaming damage control, calls from sponsors pulling out, and a single message from her conservative mother. "What have you done to our family?" Alina hadn't always planned it this way. Growing up in a small town in Texas, where church bells rang louder than dreams, she learned early to bury parts of herself. Her father, a stern Baptist preacher, preached fire and brimstone against unnatural sins, while her mother clipped coupons and whispered prayers for Alina's soul whenever she caught her staring too long at the girls in school. Acting became her escape, a way to slip into other skins, to pretend away the confusion stirring inside her. By 18, she fled to Los Angeles, landing bit parts that snowballed into stardom. But fame demanded perfection. The heterosexual rom-com queen, dating co-stars for publicity, smiling through interviews about her ideal man. It was on the set of her breakout film, a glossy romance about forbidden love, ironic now that she met Elise. Elise was the script supervisor, quiet and intense, with sharp green eyes that saw through Alina's facade. Their first real conversation happened late one night, after a grueling shoot. Alina, exhausted and alone in her trailer, confessed her frustrations with the scripted kisses that felt hollow. "It's all fake," she muttered. Elise looked up from her notes, her voice steady. "Not everything has to be." That spark ignited something real, a connection that grew in stolen moments. Coffee runs turned into lingering walks, script reviews into whispered confessions. But love in the shadows came with chains. Alina's team warned her. Hollywood wasn't ready for an openly gay leading lady. "Think of your brand," Mark had said, his eyes calculating. "Fans want the fantasy." So they hid weekend getaways to remote cabins, coded texts, Elise attending events as a friend from set. Alina rationalized it. Protection for both of them. Yet each lie chipped away at her, the internal war raging. Was she betraying herself? Or safeguarding a career that lifted her family out of poverty? Her parents, now living comfortably off her earnings, beamed at red carpet photos but never asked about her personal life. Deep down, Alina knew they suspected, but silence was their unspoken pact. As the Oscar buzz built for her role in Shattered Mirrors, a drama about a woman unraveling under societal pressure, Alina's resolve cracked. Rehearsing lines about authenticity mirrored her own hypocrisy too closely. Elise, patient at first, grew weary. "How long are we going to pretend?" she'd ask during their rare nights together in Alina's sprawling Malibu home. Alina would deflect, citing contracts, endorsements, the fear of backlash. But one evening, after a tabloid nearly outed them with a blurry photo, Elise issued an ultimatum. "Choose us or this ends." The words hung like a guillotine. Alina paced her bedroom that night, the ocean waves crashing outside a mocking symphony to her turmoil. Memories flooded. Her father's sermons branding love like hers as abomination. The online trolls who'd devour her if they knew. But then Elise's touch, soft and real. The way she made Alina feel seen, not performed. The decision formed in the dark hours. Risk it all for truth. She didn't tell Elise, wanting the reveal to be pure, unscripted. As dawn broke, Alina texted Mark. "No more hiding." His frantic calls went unanswered. Now post-reveal, chaos enveloped her. In the green room, Mark cornered her, his voice a hiss. "You've just torpedoed your career. Sponsors are fleeing, Revlon, Nike all gone." Alina met his gaze, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "Maybe it's time for a new one." But doubt crept in as she scrolled through social media on her phone. Hashtags like Alina out trending, mixed with vitriol, disgusting, traitor to fans. Supportive posts emerged too, from LGBTQ advocates, but they felt distant amid the storm. Elise arrived backstage, pushing through security, her eyes wide with shock and pride. "You did it," she whispered, pulling Alina into a hug. For a fleeting moment, relief washed over Alina, the weight of secrecy lifted. But as they stepped out to face the paparazzi, flashbulbs exploding like gunfire, Alina wondered if freedom's price was worth the impending fallout. Her family's silence loomed largest. No calls from Texas yet, but she knew the confrontation was coming. The drive home was tense, Elise holding her hand while Mark ranted from the back seat about emergency meetings. Alina stared out at the glittering LA skyline, her mind racing. Had she liberated herself, or invited destruction? The first crack appeared when her agent called. A major studio pulling her from an upcoming blockbuster. "They're citing image mismatch," he said grimly. Alina's stomach twisted. Years of work, erased in one speech. Yet beneath the fear, a spark of defiance burned. This was just the beginning. The next morning, Alina woke to a barrage of notifications, her phone vibrating like a live wire on the nightstand. Headlines screamed across every outlet. Alina's Oscar bombshell, love or career suicide? She scrolled through, heart sinking at the polarized reactions. Fans declaring betrayal, others hailing her as a hero. Elise stirred beside her, murmuring, "Ignore it for now." But Alina couldn't. This was the reality she'd unleashed, and now she had to navigate the wreckage. By noon, the calls started. First, her publicist, frantic. "We need a statement. Spin it as empowerment." Alina refused, her voice firm. "No spinning. It's the truth." Then came the sponsor's formal withdrawals, emails citing brand alignment issues. Revlon stung most. They built campaigns around her wholesome allure. Mark arrived at her door, disheveled, thrusting a tablet at her. "Look at the polls, approval ratings tanking. Your rom-com franchise? Dead." Alina felt the walls closing in, the empire she'd constructed from nothing now fracturing. But the deepest cut came from home. Her mother's call finally arrived, voice laced with tears and accusation. "How could you do this, Alina? On national TV? Your father. He's devastated. The church is praying for you." Alina gripped the phone, memories of Sunday sermons flooding back. Her father's thunderous voice condemning those people. "Mom, I couldn't lie anymore," she pleaded. "This is who I am." Silence stretched, then her mother's whisper. "We raised you better. Don't come home until you fix this." The line went dead, leaving Alina hollow. Elise watched from the kitchen, her expression a mix of sympathy and resolve. "They'll come around," she said, but doubt flickered in her eyes. Their relationship, once a sanctuary, now felt exposed, vulnerable to public scrutiny. Paparazzi camped outside the gate, shouting questions that pierced like arrows. "Is Elise the homewrecker?" Alina pulled the curtains, but the invasion was digital too. Forums dissecting their every shared photo, speculating on signs of her queerness. Amid the turmoil, an unexpected ally emerged. Sarah, a fellow actress and closeted friend, texted, "You brave idiot. Meet me." They convened at a discreet cafe, Sarah's hat pulled low. "I've wanted to come out for years," she confessed. "But seeing what you're going through, it's terrifying." Alina nodded, sharing her fears, the lost roles, the isolation. "But hiding was killing me inside," she admitted. Their conversation turned to strategy. Building a support network, perhaps a foundation for LGBTQ+ artists. For the first time since the speech, Alina felt a glimmer of purpose beyond survival. Yet betrayal lurked in familiar corners. That afternoon, a leaked email from Mark surfaced online, dated weeks before. Alina's phase, handled discreetly to avoid scandal. Fury boiled in her as she confronted him at his office. "You knew," she demanded. Mark shrugged, unrepentant. "I was protecting you. This industry eats authenticity for breakfast." Alina fired him on the spot, the decision liberating yet reckless. Now agentless, her future hung by a thread. Walking out, she realized the cost. Trust shattered, alliances frayed. Elise waited at home. Dinner prepared as a gesture of normalcy. Over pasta, they dissected the day. Elise's hand on hers a steady anchor. "We're in this together," she said. But Alina's mind wandered to the sacrifices Elise had made, putting her career on hold, enduring secrecy. Guilt gnawed. Had Alina's impulsiveness endangered them both? As night fell, they lay in bed, whispers turning to plans. "Maybe we leave LA," Elise suggested. Alina hesitated, the city her battlefield. Sleep evaded her, thoughts swirling around moral quandaries. Was visibility worth the pain inflicted on loved ones? The following days blurred into a media frenzy. Interviews requests poured in, some genuine, others sensationalist. Alina selected a few, like a sit-down with a progressive journalist. On camera, she bared her soul. "I chose love over lies, but the backlash shows how far we have to go." The piece went viral, sparking debates on talk shows. Pundits arguing if celebrities owed fans their privacy. Support swelled from unexpected quarters. Young fans sharing coming-out stories, inspired by her courage. But opposition mounted too. A conservative group launched a boycott of her films, petitions circulating online. Her father's congregation joined, publicly denouncing her as lost. A voicemail from him arrived, voice trembling with rage. "You've shamed us all. Repent, or you're no daughter of mine." Alina replayed it, tears streaming, the paternal rejection a dagger to her core. Elise held her, but the wound festered. Family bonds, once unbreakable, now severed by her truth. In quieter moments, Alina reflected on her journey. From the girl stifling crushes in Texas to the woman defying Hollywood's mold. Each step had demanded trade-offs. Friends distanced themselves, fearing association. Others rallied, like her co-star from Shattered Mirrors, who publicly endorsed her. The internal conflict peaked during a therapy session she'd secretly booked. "Am I selfish for this?" she asked. The therapist's response lingered. "Or are you selfless for paving the way?" As File 2 drew to a close, Alina stood on her balcony, staring at the horizon, the storm far from over. Weeks turned into months, and the initial shockwave settled into a grinding siege. Alina's calendar, once packed with auditions, now echoed with emptiness, directors citing scheduling conflicts, code for controversy avoidance. She paced her living room, resume in hand, questioning every choice. Elise, ever the pragmatist, suggested pivoting. "Write your story, produce independently." But Alina resisted, clinging to the dream that had defined her. The isolation deepened, social invites drying up, whispers following her at rare outings. Family tensions escalated during a forced video call. Her mother appeared on screen, eyes red-rimmed, flanked by her silent father. "We've been getting calls, neighbors, church friends. They're saying horrible things." Alina's throat tightened. "About me or about you?" Her father's voice boomed. "About our failure as parents. You paraded your sin for the world." The argument spiraled, accusations flying. Alina defending her right to love, her parents clinging to doctrine. "God doesn't make mistakes," she countered, "but hiding did." The call ended in stalemate, her mother's plea lingering. "Come home, fix this." But home felt like enemy territory now. Elise bore the brunt indirectly. Her own family, more progressive, offered support, but the spotlight invaded her life. Job offers withdrawn after background checks revealed the connection. "I didn't sign up for fame," she admitted one evening, frustration bubbling. Alina pulled her close, guilt surging. "I dragged you into this." Their bond, tested by external pressures, revealed cracks. Arguments over finances as Alina's savings dwindled, debates on visibility, Elise urging caution while Alina embraced activism. A heated exchange erupted after a protest invite. "You're charging ahead without thinking of us," Elise yelled. Alina paused, realizing the selfishness in her zeal. An opportunity arose amid the downturn. A documentary producer approached, wanting Alina's unfiltered story. Wary of exploitation, she agreed only after vetting. No sensationalism, just truth. Filming unearthed buried emotions, recounting childhood suppression, the thrill of meeting Elise, the Oscar night's terror. Crew members shared their own struggles, fostering camaraderie. But vulnerability came at a cost. Leaked footage sparked fresh backlash, trolls doxing Elise's address. Security tightened, their home a fortress. Alina's inner monologue raged. Was this empowerment, or endless punishment? Betrayal struck again from an old friend, Tara, a former co-star. In a tell-all interview, Tara claimed Alina had flirted aggressively on set, painting her as predatory. The narrative twisted online, shifting from brave to manipulative. Alina confronted Tara via phone. Why? We were friends. Tara's response chilled. You coming out hurt my brand, guilt by association. Had to distance. The call exposed Hollywood's underbelly. Alliances fragile, loyalty commodified. Alina hung up, resolve hardening. She'd build anew, without fair-weather allies. Elise's patience frayed further during a charity gala, their first public outing as a couple. Whispers and stares followed, a photographer shoving for a shot. Elise snapped, storming out. Back home, tears flowed. I love you, but this circus. It's too much. Alina's heart ached, the price of her decision manifesting in their strained intimacy. They talked through the night, recommitting, but doubts lingered. Alina wondered. Could love survive the siege? Activism became her lifeline. Joining panels on LGBTQ+ rights, she spoke of systemic biases, the pay gaps, typecasting erasure. A young fan approached post-event. You gave me courage to tell my parents. Moments like these fueled her, countering the hate mail piling up. Yet societal prejudice hit close. A neighbor's petition to protect the community from her influence. Alina fought back legally, but the emotional toll mounted, sleepless nights, anxiety spikes. Her parents' silence broke with an ultimatum letter. Renounce publicly or we're done. Alina stared at the words, torn between filial duty and self-preservation. Drafting a response, she poured out years of suppressed pain. The loneliness of hiding, the joy Elise brought. Sending it felt like severing a limb, but necessary. No reply came, amplifying the void. Elise suggested therapy for them as a couple, a space to unpack the trauma. Sessions revealed layers. Alina's fear of abandonment rooted in childhood. Elise's resentment of being secondary to fame. Progress was slow, breakthroughs amid setbacks. One evening, Elise confessed. I almost left last week. Alina's world tilted, the revelation a gut punch. What stopped you? Us, the real us, not the public version. They clung to that, rebuilding amid ruins. As the documentary wrapped, previews teased raw honesty, generating buzz. Supporters rallied, but critics panned it as self-indulgent. Alina braced for release, knowing it could reignite the firestorm. In quiet reflection, she acknowledged the trade-offs. Career derailed, relationships strained, but authenticity gained. The moral maze persisted. Was her path righteous or reckless? The answer eluded her, as the story pressed on. The documentary's premiere marked a turning point, the theater packed with a mix of allies and skeptics. Alina stood on stage post-screening, fielding questions with poise honed from years in the spotlight. This isn't just my story, she said. It's for everyone silenced by fear. Applause thundered, but online the divide widened. Praise from progressives, scorn from traditionalists. Ratings soared, offers trickling in for indie projects, hinting at resurrection. Yet victory felt hollow amid personal losses. Her parents' response arrived via a surprise visit. Her mother at the door, alone, face etched with exhaustion. Your father doesn't know I'm here. They sat in the living room, awkward silence broken by tears. I watched the doc, her mother admitted. Saw the pain we caused. Alina listened, heart thawing as apologies flowed. For ignorance, for pressure. No full acceptance yet, but a crack in the wall. I want to understand. Elise joined, tentative introductions easing tension. As her mother left, promising more talks, Alina felt a fragile hope. Reconciliation possible, if gradual. But joy was short-lived. A scandal erupted when an ex-publicist leaked private emails, exposing Alina's pre-Oscar doubts. What if coming out ruins everything? Tabloids spun it as inauthenticity, fans feeling duped. Social media erupted. Alina faked trending. Alina addressed it in a live stream. Doubt doesn't negate truth, it's human. The honesty resonated, turning tide somewhat, but damage lingered, trust eroded. Elise faced her own crisis. A job promotion offer in New York, away from LA's glare. It's a fresh start, she said, eyes pleading. Alina panicked internally. The move meant separation, or uprooting. What about us? She asked. The discussion turned heated, weighing careers against relationship. Elise's ultimatum echoed past ones. I need space from this madness. Alina conceded, agreeing to long distance, but fear not. Was this the beginning of the end? Activism intensified. Alina headlining rallies against anti-LGBTQ+ legislation. Speeches drew crowds, her voice a beacon for the marginalized. A confrontation arose at one event. A protester hurling slurs, security intervening. Shaken, Alina pressed on, but the incident amplified inner turmoil. The physical risks of visibility. Home that night, she confided in Elise. Sometimes I regret it. Elise's response steadied her. Regret the pain, not the truth. Betrayal resurfaced from an unlikely source. Her sister Mia, whom she'd confided in years ago. Mia sold a story to a magazine. Growing up with Alina's secrets. Details twisted, portraying Alina as distant, selfish. Hurt deepened the family rift. Alina called Mia voice-breaking. Why? Mia's defense. You left us behind in your glamour world. The call revealed buried resentments, sibling jealousy, financial dependencies. Alina cut ties temporarily, the decision agonizing but self-protective. As Elise prepared for New York, their days filled with bittersweet moments. Walks on the beach reminiscing. Alina's career flickered back. A role in a queer indie film, small but meaningful. Auditions resumed, directors praising her raw edge. Yet societal pushback persisted. Boycotts of her endorsements, online harassment peaking. Therapy helped navigate. You're rewriting narratives, her counselor affirmed. A pivotal moment came during a panel with conservative voices. Debating marriage equality. Alina faced pointed questions. Doesn't this undermine family values? She countered passionately. Love strengthens families. Hiding destroys them. The exchange went viral, sparking national discourse. Support from celebrities poured in, solidifying her as an icon. But exhaustion set in. Constant defense wearing her down. Elise's departure loomed, bags packed. At the airport, tears mingled with promises. This isn't goodbye. Alina watched the plane ascend, heart heavy. Alone in her home, reflections surged. The costs tallied. Career rebooted at a fraction. Family fractured, love tested. Moral dilemmas haunted. Had her actions inspired change, or merely invited chaos? Months later, with Elise visiting sporadically, Alina threw herself into work. The indie film wrapped, reviews lauding her authenticity. A reconciliation attempt with her father failed. A terse call ending in impasse. Yet her mother's visits increased, bridging gaps. Society's mirror reflected progress. Polls shifting toward acceptance, her story cited in classrooms. But personal scars remained. Reminders of the price paid. As the narrative built toward climax, Alina pondered the ultimate question of right and wrong. Reunion with Elise in New York brought temporary solace, the city a fresh canvas away from LA's shadows. They wandered Central Park, hands intertwined openly, a freedom Alina craved. This could be our life, Elise mused. But obligations pulled Alina back, promotions, advocacy. Distance strained, calls turning terse. Missed connections, unspoken frustrations. Alina's inner voice questioned. Was sacrificing proximity for purpose justifiable? A major breakthrough arrived. A studio offering a lead in a mainstream drama, posts come out. We're betting on you, the exec said. Excitement surged, but strings attached. Toned down activism to avoid polarization. Alina wrestled overnight. Compromise for opportunity, or stand firm. She declined, choosing integrity, the decision echoing past ones. Backlash followed, insiders labeling her difficult. Yet indie acclaim grew, awards nominations validating her path. Family dynamics shifted dramatically during Thanksgiving. Her mother invited her home, a tentative olive branch. Arriving in Texas, Alina braced for hostility. Her father greeted stiffly, but conversation flowed haltingly over dinner. Politics avoided, memories shared. Later alone with him. I don't understand, but I love you. No full embrace of her identity, but absence of condemnation felt like victory. Elise joined via video, her presence humanizing their bond. Tears fell as barriers cracked, healing beginning. But triumph mingled with tragedy. A close friend from the community, inspired by Alina, came out and faced violent backlash, hospitalized after an attack. Visiting him, Alina confronted the ripple effects. Her visibility emboldened but endangered others. Guilt consumed. Did I cause this? He reassured. You gave me strength. The incident fueled fiercer advocacy. Alina lobbying lawmakers, her voice amplified. Elise's return to LA for a visit ignited rekindled passion, but underlying tensions surfaced. I miss normalcy, she confessed. Alina proposed marriage impulsively. Let's make it official. Elise hesitated. With all this chaos? The proposal hung, unresolved, highlighting their divergent paths. Alina reflected deeply. Love demanded balance, not dominance. A final betrayal came from within the industry. A producer who'd promised support pulling funding from her project, citing market risks. Exposed emails revealed bigotry. Audiences aren't ready for her type. Alina sued for discrimination, the case drawing media frenzy. Testifying, she laid bare systemic homophobia, winning settlement and policy changes. Victory bittersweet, exhaustion peaking. As her story crested, Alina authored a memoir, pouring out the journey's highs and lows. Launch events packed, readers sharing parallels. Elise attended one, their reunion electric. Over dinner they reconciled. We'll figure it out together. Moving forward, Alina balanced career and activism, family ties strengthening. Society evolved incrementally, her influence undeniable. Yet questions lingered in quiet moments. The moral ambiguities of her choices, the damages inflicted. Had revelation liberated, or merely redistributed pain? The narrative closed on reflection, leaving one to ponder. Was Alina's bold revelation ultimately the right path? Or a costly mistake that harmed more than it helped?